Alright, hello all you crazy people out there, my name is Dragonite, and welcome back to Harvest December. So, in the last part, Maruhi gained his powers back and was henceforth cut off from the rest of Tagami because he's from another region and apparently we can't intermingle or anything like that. And in this part, I'm just going to read the epilogue and see how this part of the story resolves. So, by the end of January, there was excited talk about Valentine's Day coming up. Even the magazine I had spread out on my desk had reviews on chocolates and gifts for that special somebody. Ugh. I turned the page. I looked at the featured editorial peppered with stylish photographs. It had an interview with my favorite fashion model. Ow, but I couldn't motivate myself to read it. The class was having an hour of self-study, but I didn't feel like doing anything at all. Ugh. I placed my hands on my lap. That special somebody wasn't there. I missed the weight of him. You're completely useless now. Look, here. Wait, look at you. Here, I'll do the documents. It seemed that Usiji was showing compassion for once, but I couldn't be sure. I wasn't paying much attention. What's the matter with you? Oh, hi. Send my regards to your grandpa, please. It was Sakura from Grandpa Tagami's. You've been saying that for a week. Really? Nevertheless, I've been relaying your message from every time. Here's one for you from him. Izuho-san, not again. You make me sound as if I'm sick in the head or something. But you are. I didn't say anything to that. What is it? Nothing, I just thought I'd check on you because you look depressed. Here, drink this. An energy drink? You know, I've always wondered why, but these energy drinks are always colored so they look poisonous. Oh, don't mind and just use the pick-me-up, won't you? I had more questions, but I drowned the drink anyway. Downs the drink anyway. Drowns the drink. Do I look that depressed to you? You've been sighing non-stop for the past week. I'm touched that you care, but don't you have other stuff to attend to? Ooh, touche. You sound like you're saying don't bother and F off. But that's okay. Why? I'm working on some Tagami Sakura strategy that I want Kohai-san to notice me. That if I want Kohai-san to notice me, I'd better start befriending people around him and get close to you to a point where I can call you my stepsister and... Oh, forget I said that. It sounded like she had pretty deep plans for manipulation going on, but I didn't care about that now. Is it about Maruhi-chan? Nope. Can you at least look into my eyes when you deny it? Oh, alright. Fine, yeah, it is about him. He looked really cute in the sailor skirt outfit. When did you... Our school counselor treasurer has been making quite a mint selling his pictures. Why? Why? Moyori-san sure knew a thing about money. But again, I didn't care about that now. Oh, come on, cheer up. You're just sitting there emanating dark forces from around your seat all day. I can't. Don't say that. Well, what will make you happy? Breaking that boundary. What? I'm going to get some food. I came up from my seat and left the classroom. Only Masaki-san was in the classroom when I went to the seniors floor. I was actually relieved. Where's everyone? Sanae and Kohai have gone to buy some stuff at the shop. Yuki called from the principal's office. Baldy is probably begging for another donation from Towada about now. Masaki-san was reading a difficult-looking book, seemingly engrossed. From the title, it looked like it was a study on some religious rites done on some remote islands. That is a telephone! Alright, I have returned. Where's your lunch, Masaki-san? I'm waiting for Yuki. You gigolo. Ow, what? Gigolo? That's not a word I'm familiar with. He staggered a bit as if he'd been stabbed in the chest. I looked at the clock on the wall. Oni-chan and Sanae should probably, I hate the word probably because it's hard to say, it has too many B's in it. But whatever, they should be back in a few minutes. I placed a finger on the book Masaki-san was reading, and pressed it down away from his face. What is it? Since when? I countered with a question of my own. What? Since the first day at Sakashima Shrine. Masaki-san knew exactly what I was talking about, but I wasn't sure of it at the point. Not when we had just met. Wait, what? Oh, she's like tipping the book away from him so they have to make eye contact. Okay, I got it. Then what happened? Okay, so they're talking about the meeting back at the beginning of this chapter. Alright. But I wasn't sure of it at the point. Not when we had just met him, he added. You had me curious. Neither you nor I know about the change inside Maruhi, or the history between the god of Sakashima and Shiro-sama. which meant it was impossible for us to know Shiro-sama and Madoe were hiding the whereabouts of Sakashima's powers, which meant Madoe had already decided at that point, when he met and Shiro-sama was with me, to give up reclaiming Sakashima's powers to stay by my side. Oh. Toyama, that's complicated. Nothing, I just pieced something together. Getting back to my question, when did you decide to play along with the two? When we were at the warehouse. What gave me away? Because you're usually excited about things that have to do with gods, myths, and religion, but you weren't that eager to help out. And then you knew when Madoe needed help getting home, and you came up with the solution to help regain his strength so fast. The more I thought about it, the more I suspected that you knew something I didn't. I was explaining myself as I thought it out, and so I wasn't sure if I was choosing my words right. You knew too much, Masaki-san. Before I just didn't notice, but now I can see it. You were manipulating me all this time so that Madoe would get his wish. Yes, he admitted easily. You gave him time by refusing to help with the search. Then when Madoe got sick, you told me what to do. Then you directed me to Shiro-sama. But what I didn't understand is how you found out. After we went our separate ways the day in the warehouse, I went back. And then he had found papers about Madoe's father, and kept it secret. So that's when I knew. Madoe didn't intend to look for his powers anymore, but he needed you instead. I decided to be on his side. You? I was surrounded by liars. Everyone knew except me. But I couldn't get angry with him because I knew he only did it to respect Madoe's wishes. But I never expected it to end this way. That wall, it isn't there when I look at it from afar, but when I get closer it appears. It's probably because you've developed a special bond with Madoe. Now that you're connected with the god of Sakashima more than anybody else, the barrier is probably extremely sensitive to you. I'm sorry. It's not your fault, but... I wanted to see Madoe again, even if it's just one more time. I covered my face with my hands. No matter how hard I tried not to cry, my eyes burned. I was trying to keep this down, trying to behave like a grown-up, to accept and let it go. I turned into a hollow person with an attitude, because it hurt so much. But now I was crying just like a baby. I said I would stay by his side. I made so many promises, but I ignored his wishes and I broke my promise. I couldn't forgive myself. What would you do when you meet him? I lifted my face. Madoe has to stay inside Sakashima. You have your own life in Tagami. It would be difficult to be together. And now that Sakashima has its powers back, the boundaries are stronger than ever. But Madoe's father made it across, didn't he? I did say it would be difficult, but I didn't say it would be impossible. But what matters to you most isn't about the rules of power, but that you get to see him again, right? Right. So what are you going to do? I couldn't stay with Madoe because he was the god of Sakashima now. The god of turning, Sakashima's regional god. I told Masaki-san what I thought. He nodded and said that I was free to do whatever I pleased. He took out his cell phone from his pocket to check the time. Kohai has achieved item, potato sandwich. Potato sandwich, that sounds good right about now. Why are you talking like a video game? I already told you, I'll make you lunch when I want, if I want. Sorry to keep you waiting, Masaki. Since you haven't brought any lunch for yourself, I assume that you are waiting for me to feed you hand to mouth. No, that's not what I was waiting for. Everyone, we've got to go, Masaki-san said. What's the matter? Oni-chan asked me seriously, noticing that Masaki-san was packing his bag. We're going to have lunch on the train. What are you talking about? A road trip, Masaki-san smiled. Everything changes no matter how much you wish otherwise. Again, that was like the opening line from the story, this chapter, isn't it? I think so. Sniff. The tears flowed endlessly, because the loneliness wouldn't go away. The snow was bright, reflecting the light of the moon. Should probably be drinking more water than I have been. Anyway, the snow was bright, reflecting the light of the moon. Not a soul heard him cry. With the powers of Sakashima restored, Madoe was now Madoe was now the regional god of his land. But what about it? Nobody really needed his powers to get on with their lives. Religious people lessened each year. The rituals he knew did not hold much meaning anymore. His promise of 100 years has been fulfilled. But what then? Madoe didn't know what he was supposed to do from now on. Nene-sama, Nene-sama! His kimono sleeve was heavy with his tears. But still, Madoe walked on with steady feet. It had become his daily routine to walk the ritual platform. The shrilling sound of bells rang out, familiar in his ears now. He had no purpose visiting the borders any longer, but then he had nowhere else to go. He walked downhill along his usual path. Arriving at his destination, he stepped up onto the stone. He stared at the thick, white wall before him. How he wished he could go to the other side. I thought we were going to freeze to death waiting. Huh? We were prepared to wait overnight, though. You're still crying? Come on, man up. He's still a child. He's allowed to cry as much as he wants. Just in case you're wondering, this time I'm on Toyama's side. What's wrong? Achoo! Mizuho Toyama sneezed in Madoi's face. Everyone watched in horror as a large booger slid down his cheek. That was more descriptive than it really needed to be. I'm so sorry! I wiped Madoi's face with the tissue I had in my bag. Ow, ow, you're scrubbing too hard. I'm so sorry I was late coming too. I laughed. Mizuho Nene-sama, is that really you? Mizuho Nene-sama, it really is me. I repeated his voice. You don't make a very good mimic. At least you're smiling now. But how did you get here? From the other side of the Sakashima, of course. We came from the next prefecture. Prefecture. But the wall! Its job is to keep Tagami and Sakashima apart, right? But other boundaries dividing Sakashima and someplace else wouldn't care about us Tagami people at all. Oh. Misaki-san had done his research, and he knew how some rules only applied to certain people. If we couldn't enter Sakashima because the wall was reacting to us now, we just needed to enter from someplace else that didn't have anything to do with us at all. We are free people, Misaki-san declared, satisfied. I don't know. Seems a little loose. No pun intended. Madoi hugged me fiercely. He fit so comfortably in my arms, I never wanted to let go. You're so cold. Because I was alone. Well, you won't go cold anymore, I'll see to that. That means I'm keeping you by my side. Mizuho Nene-sama. Wait. I slapped him on the forehead lightly before he could cry. Let's go. Where? Back home, of course. But I can't. There's a wall. Maybe next New Year. Oh, God. Do your job. I yelled at my cell phone. The connection was bad. Soon after, the wall turned translucent. Aren't you a bossy one? Shiro-sama grinned, holding a cell phone in her hand. Thank you, technology, I hooted. We'll go first. As they said that, Oni-chan, Sanae, Yuki, and lastly, Masaki-san stepped across the border. They all belonged to Tagami, so they had no problem going back. I was sure I could step over without any problem too. But Madoi is the god of Sakashima now. Madoi can't cross. But you were in Tagami till recently. That's because at that time Madoi hadn't regained his powers. Then why don't you give them away? I pointed at the Shiro-sama. You didn't want the powers, right? You gave up searching for it. Why don't you just give up being a god altogether? Madoi looked speechless, his mouth wide open. Shiro-sama's taken your father's powers away before, she can do it again. But isn't it wrong to pass around her powers like that? I told you, the freedom of people astounds me, Shiro-sama smiled at Madoi. To us, it's like an impossible thought. For humans, it seems they just think, why not? And allow it. Don't tell me you've changed your mind. If that was the case, I had just been an idiot. But, Mizuho Nene-sama, we're going to be together? I know I've disappointed you in the past, but this time, I'm going to do better, I think. You sound unsure of yourself. Madoi giggled. But it was an easy laugh, one that told me he trusted me completely. Let's go. I stretched my hand out to him as he took it in his tiny hands. What happens if Madoi goes weak again? We could return back here for a little while, or ask Shiro-sama to give your powers back temporarily. To think you would make us throw away our powers left and right like that. Mizuho, you owe me big time. I told you before, you can have Misaki-san anytime in turn for your help. Wait, Misaki, you agreed to something like that? I didn't. It's not my idea, so please put back your Naginata. Ah! That's gonna screw up my microphone. You think you'll have more fun on the other side? Madoi feels bad for Misaki-san to admit this, but yes. We both took a step forward together. There was this thin, partly translucent wall glowing before us, faintly marking the boundary between Tagami and Sakashima. But, welcome home, Madoi. I'm back, Nene-sama. We both stepped over the boundary together. Everybody was waiting for us there. And that's it. No, final epic sounding line at the end. Alright, well, that was Boundaries in January. I enjoyed the ending. I look forward to you seeing this, kids' antics more in the future, hopefully, in the rest of the months. You can have a look through these if you want. Pause the video. Ooh. Festive August looks cool. Combat in May sounds fun. I wonder if it's going to be more like stabbing people. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed that. My name is Dragonite, and I will see you all later.